Mic check 1, 2. Sibilants, how is everybody doing today? That's better. We are about to go on a journey to hell. Are you guys ready? I can't hear you. Now I can hear you. So, before we get started, why don't we introduce everybody in our party today, starting down on this end of the stage. Please introduce yourselves and your characters. Apparently you have to press the button.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
There we go. Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. My name's Aoife, and my character is Dahlia Flynn. She's a level 8 bard. She's recently had a little bit of a career change. She's into, let's say, more dodgy dealings. She unfortunately made a deal that means she has to try and sell a tinderbox to Zariel, which is going to be an interesting challenge. Yeah. Oh.
I'm Zoe. I am playing a level 10 tiefling wizard named Surgeon Manafort. She's not a doctor, but she does like surgery. She just loves devils, namely cutting them up and seeing what's inside. So, yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Hulmes. I'm the Dungeon Master for High Rollers, a little UK show. Thank you very much. You might also know me as Caliana from Critical Role, but today I'm going to be playing Alessandra, the Spring Eladrin Paladin Warlock, who has been trekking around the Forgotten Realms, working for a certain organization called the Harpers, trying to track down certain individuals, which I won't go into here, but maybe we'll find out a bit more later. And yeah, that's pretty much me. Lovely to meet you all. I hope you're all having a lovely time at Lucca.
My name's Richard Whitters. I'm a senior art director on Dungeons and Dragons, and I'll be playing Desmond Smythe, the 14th of the 5th of the 1st, and I will be the finest paladin you've ever witnessed in a game, ever. I was making fun of the actors. The whole island.
Hi, buonasera. I am Joe Manganiello. Manganiello. I'll be playing a draconic sorcerer. His name is Halfmat Arson, and his power is fire. He has red dragon blood flowing through his veins, very Mediterranean. He is descending into hell because he has heard word that the father he has never met is somewhere in Avernus, somewhere in hell, and he is trying to find clues as to where his father is.
And I'll be your Dungeon Master. My name is Bill Benham. I'm the tabletop RPG producer for the Dungeons & Dragons team at Wizards of the Coast. And today, your party is going to take a hunt for the infernal warlord, Bitter Breath. So let's get this party started. You all, brave adventurers, mostly, except for Sir Desmond Howard the 15th, or whatever you came up with, Richie. At any rate, brought together for the purpose of stopping an infernal warlord. So a group of different folks that travel around kind of Mad Max style in the first layer of hell in Avernus, wreaking all kinds of chaos. This particular warlord is named Bitter Breath. And Bitter Breath has gotten his hands on an infernal war machine. Not your plain Jane infernal war machine that goes tearing around on wheels. This is way cooler. Bitter Breath and his crew have stolen one of the flying war machines that kind of rain fire and destruction down on the demons in Avernus. So, this would be terrible for the good folks of Elturel. But before the good folks of Elturel, the city that's been trapped in hell, before they could get a hold of our heroes, there was another warlord by the name of Mad Maggie. You guys heard of Mad Maggie? Mad Maggie's awesome. Mad Maggie's a night hag, okay, with this huge golem named Mickey made out of spare parts, demon parts, devil parts, all stitched together. And Mad Maggie has drawn all of you together to tell you the following, that Bitter Breath has stolen a flying infernal war machine and intends to rain destruction down upon Avernus. And as one of my more hated rivals, I cannot have that happen. And so happens that of all the folk that I could find best able to contend with Bitter Breath's threat, it is you all. So I am happy to pay a sum. It could be gold, it could be favors, it could be information, to dispatch Bitter Breath. Plus, any treasure that you find, and I'm sure he has some from his many raids and plunders, is yours for the keeping. What say you? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
And that is always true, without exception.
Do I detect some sarcasm, my dear?
I mean, look, I'm here to do my own thing. I know that we've all rolled up and we're all in a party together. I guess I'll slum it with you guys, but,
Is this a party?
It's, well, in the loosest terms.
Certainly a very interesting party at that. I'm certainly game. What about yourself, dark and mysterious and handsome? Yes,
You're
it will be
talking
like
to
that.
the other paladin, aren't you?
No, my dear fellow. You, of course.
I'll help you.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you, how fare you with flight? Can you fly?
Can we, let's talk about how much we're talking here first. I mean, look,
Make
Dolly,
me an offer.
well, I mean, I'll make the offer and you'll double it. How about that? But, Dolly is like, I'm here to deliver, whatever you have for the right price, I will get it for you, whether it's, fine furs or dealing, killing blows. Dolly delivers. That's my thing.
So, what's your price?
What does the rest of the party think?
I think you mentioned flying earlier. Now, I can't fly with wings myself, but I would kill for a good pair of devil wings. You got any of them in stock?
While I do not have devil wings, I could offer you your very own nightmare.
Nightmares are bony, right? There's no flesh in that. I'm not up for that.
No, a nightmare, dear child.
I'm looking for something nice and sinuous. Something.
She's gonna
quite
tear it
sinuous,
apart.
my dear.
I'm
I'll
not going
take
to tear
her.
it apart. I'm going to use it to make something beautiful. That's all.
So, do you know what a nightmare is, child?
Yeah, it's a thing that doesn't have flesh, so I'm not interested in it. You can't use a knife. I mean, you can use a knife on bone, but it's very hard, and I don't have the upper body strength.
Sweet summer child.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
A nightmare has flesh. A nightmare is brimstone and flesh and fire. It's a horse crafted of the very evil of Avernus.
I knew my teacher was lying to me.
Your teacher is a dumbass. That is the truth. So, you can be borne aloft on this nightmare. I will give it to you. It will be bound to your service.
I am into that.
I see Arson is already quite interested in the possession of his own nightmare because Arson knows what's going on.
Because the person playing Arson was alive during the 1980s Dungeons & Dragons cartoon, and Venger rode around on top of a nightmare, so I need one.
Also, it's the coolest way to fly around
Of
hell.
course.
You gotta admit. What say the rest of you? Good paladins?
What is with this? I don't understand this. I'm not that particularly interested in a nightmare. I'd be interested in some information from you if I help you with this task. But I'm sure that one of these dear fellows or one of these dear ladies can bear me aloft at the same time.
I would like a hellish flying goat.
Your
Saddle.
nightmare will look like a goat. Night goat. All right, so information. What information do you seek?
Well, I'm looking for a particular group that I've heard that may be passing through these realms. You wouldn't have happened to come across a group named Acquisitions Incorporated, would you?
All right. Oh, would one of that party be a Mr. James Dark Magic of the New Hampshire Dark Magics?
Unfortunately so, yes.
I may perchance have heard of them, and upon successful completion of this task, I would be able to guide you in the right direction, good sir.
Then, Mad Maggie, my spear is yours. That sounded extremely ominous, and I regret my decision, but I will stick to it.
No, that was when hags. That is a happy hag laugh, as opposed to a ominous or evil hag laugh. So we have an accord. What? Because all right, information for you, good sir.
I will ask you one question when we succeed.
And I will answer one question when you succeed. Besides a goat that can fly, what do you want, sir, Mr. Desmond Howard the 14th?
Cognac. 2 bottles of...
This is actually not an odd request, because you note when you are in Avernus, everything tastes, not to put too fine a point on it, everything tastes like shit. Everything tastes like, has anybody here ever tried, it's the stuff that the people at Amazon and Google like to drink.
Limoncello?
No, limoncello is delicious. It's like this,
Kombucha?
No, kombucha's, yes, it all tastes like kombucha. Doesn't matter if you're eating a steak, whatever, it all tastes like crap. However, Desmond.
Yes.
I have a bottle of cognac plucked from one of the layers of Celestia, Mount Celestia itself, which is capable of resisting the influence of this infernal place and will taste just as sweet and delicious as the day that it was bottled.
Oh, shit, that will do. That'll do quite well. I'm making fun of
Fantastic.
Yes,
and
I get it.
information.
Yes, I get it. Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
And what about you, my dear? What did you want, my dear?
So, first of all, I want to say it's really inspirational. You know, all my party members, they're such an inspiration to all those mediocre people that were told they couldn't do it and they just tried to do it anyway. So, if any of those people die, can I have their share?
Actually, I like the cut of your jib. Yes, if any of these people die, you can have their
And then
share.
also money.
How much money are we talking?
Let's talk about 500 gold.
Would you like that in ingots? Would you like that in gems?
Transportable gems.
Transportable gems. A woman after my own heart. Then 500 gold pieces worth of transportable gems shall be yours upon successful completion of this task. And you just wanted the nightmare, dear?
Well, do you have any spare specimens apart from the nightmare?
Like what?
Surprise me.
Really?
Yes.
So you're saying
Can
sight
I-
unseen, I can provide you with whatever I wish when you return.
Yeah, surprise me, but can I specify that it's adequately contained and restrained when
I don't
I'm
want her
presented
share.
with it?
Adequately contained, yes.
Yes?
A specimen adequately contained and restrained. Yours upon completion of task.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Fantastic. Mad Maggie will then provide. Avernus, notoriously difficult to navigate because the landscape kind of shifts. But what she's going to have you do is follow the river Styx, which never shifts, and follow a path that she has plotted where Bitterbreath is taking this flying war machine. Now it's damaged, so it doesn't fly particularly far, but it has a great deal of arcane firepower, so it can lay waste to thousands of demons. But approaching from the air, because it does fly a couple 100 feet in the air, approaching from the air, you could board it, get inside it, and at the center of the ship is a device which provides it focuses the infernal energies and keeps the craft aloft. If you disable this device, the whole will come crashing down. I only hope that you're able to leave before it hits the ground.
And what does this device look like?
Well, it appears to be a long column of pulsing flesh embedded with dark crystals kind of woven around it, and you can hear the screams of the souls as they are drawn from the river Styx up to power it. It is hard to miss.
You certainly have a distinct aesthetic here in Avernus. That's for
Yes, we
certain.
are. It's not unlike IKEA.
Yes.
So, any other questions? You must be able to fly, hence why I am willing to provide you with the nightmare. You must return the nightmare, except for you, young lady.
Except for me, I get to keep
Yes,
mine.
you asked for it to be bound, it shall be bound to you.
Fabulous. Can I name it?
Yes?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Any thoughts on the name there, my dear?
Fabio.
Yes. Very suitable nightmare
The most
name.
fabulous of nightmares.
Fabio the Nightmare. I'm here for it. So, you can expect Bit of Breath commands a legion of infernal hobgoblins, as Zariel has forsworn any devils from following him. So, he commands an unconventional force. So, what say
Good
you?
to know.
Are you ready?
Yes. Ready.
Then
So
away
Desmond, to the
we
goat.
shall go. Desmond,
Can I
are
ride
you
your
ready? Because I'm picturing Desmond riding like backwards on a flaming like infernal goat that's kind of like Don Knotts in one of those old westerns or whatever.
No.
Andiamo.
Andiamo! Holy shit.
Did you just call?
Andiamo indeed. So, how would Arson, when you are presented with your nightmare, a fine, muscular specimen with the flaming mane and a pseudo-skeletal face belching fire, how do you approach and establish control of this magnificent beast?
Okay. I reach out my arm, and a spout of flame comes out of my arm, which then scares the nightmare this way. Then I fire another pillar of flame, and it turns this way. And as I control this nightmare moving both ways, I make it run faster this way, then stop it and push it the other way energetically until the horse finally stops and starts pawing at the ground with his hoof, puts its head down, and starts walking towards me. I put my hand on top of its head and burst a spot of blue flame onto its head, and then I grab it by the fiery mane and I mount it from the side.
Outstanding. It is, this beast will, I was going to say follow you into hell, kind of already there, but you have earned its loyalty, sir.
I love it.
I stagger on to my goat and flop over one leg over it, sort of, and hold on to it, almost slipping, and then
Make
say,
me an acrobatics.
You coming?
Make me an acrobatics check or dexterity check, because I doubt how you're trained in it.
First roll of the night.
Yes.
Yeah. So he throws his leg over his goat.
2.
And you watch as Desmond drunkenly stands, throws one leg over, and then just proceeds all the way over to the other side.
Slippery
face
goat.
in the
Slippery
dirt.
goat.
After a moment, I'm not going to make you do that again, embarrass yourself. After a moment, you are able to mount, but this goat, you get the sense that it's just kind of amused with you, and maybe if you try to push it too hard one direction or another, it might tell you to fuck off and then like go its own direction, basically.
I have another passenger. 2 goat. It's a 2-seater goat.
So you're
Sidecar.
it's a. Oh no, there is a sidecar.
Yeah,
Because
of course
two
there
medium
is.
creatures can't ride on a large creature.
Yeah.
So it will have kind of its chains and it looks kind of like an iron bathtub with feet. It's kind of hot to the touch, but you're still good with
Okay.
it. So no checks required from you. You just get to ride in kind of a hovering iron tub.
Well, seeing as Sir Desmond definitely doesn't have the respect of this beast,
At all.
can I will flick out the long platinum hair, saunter my way up to the beast and look at it, gaze at it into its eyes. And although it is probably a fiend, being a goat, I'm hoping that there's still some animalistic nature there. And I'm going to call on the power of Queen Titania of the Feywild to bespeech and say, now you listen here, you little shit. I'm going to be riding alongside this fellow, so you're going to do what he says. Otherwise, and then I'm just going to let the power of Saloon, the radiant energy, build up in the palm, and I'm going to let it infuse my body as my eyes glow like the moonlight, or I will come to collect Do we have an understanding, my dear?
The goat, because goats have very wide set eyes. It can't, like, look you in the eye. But it will turn its head and look with one kind of flame-filled eye.
Your goat will do as you say.
Because that's what goats sound like when you have bee speech.
Pat, pat, pat.
Okay.
Good.
Do not hurt, goat.
I have my nightmares in front of me. Yeah?
Yeah.
I get out my research notebook and I push my black hair behind my ears and I walk around it for a bit with my notebook, taking notes, looking up, maybe sketching out a few of its muscles. And then once I've done enough notes, put my notebook away and I slowly walk up to it and touch its nozzle with my hand. Run my hand along the side of its body, trying to feel a little bit of the sinews beneath the skin, but mainly because this is a beautiful creature, I must admit, and not skeletal, as my teacher tried to fool me. And then once I think I've got enough information about the body from my notes and the touch, I attempt to mount it.
Please make me do 2 checks. 1, a handle animal check, and make it with advantage.
Ah, thank you. Natural 20. Yes.
20.
Yes.
So what first started as suspicion and kind of nervous energy, feet tamping, subside as you go to mount the horse. Now please make me a dexterity or acrobatics check with advantage.
Oh, 12 or 14.
It's not the most graceful mounting, but you slide up into the saddle and orient yourself on the back of your horse, and you feel like it is ready to go. Like you have formed a sufficient bond with the animal.
I'd like to lean forward and whisper the name Fabio in its ear.
Okay. Fabio, he shall forever be.
Amazing. And then can I reach out a hand and offer help to our associate, I guess?
I heard what she was saying earlier. She's not my associate.
I'm going to say associate. But needless, I reach forward a hand and as if to pull her up onto the horse.
Listen, friend.
Not your friend, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Not your buddy, pal.
Listen, I mean, we're sharing a nightmare, so we're already pretty well acquainted. But let's see what we can do for each other, right? Dolly delivers, and whatever I can do for you, that's all well and good. We'll be friends by the end of it. We'll talk price later, because that's just out of the goodness of my heart.
Of course,
but
yes.
Yeah.
I see you have some nice body parts I'd love to exchange for something when you have a chance. So, yes, let's talk price later, because you might need them for now.
Don't try it, honey. Let's see how we go.
Oh, she called you honey. That's how you know it's bad.
You know what? I'm into that. I think I'm into that
All right, we'll have an accord for the time being.
for the time being.
All right, so we have the 2 of you mounted on a nightmare named Fabio. We have you upon a goat. We have you in an iron tub riding sidecar with the goat.
Side goat.
And we have Arson riding upon his nightmare. Fantastic. She gives you an azimuth to set out upon and says, when you see it, you will know. Because it is these flying infernal machines look like kind of like a coffin nail with the bottom kind of with a jagged tip and a large kind of almost like a bridge deck at the top. And as said before, they float above, usually about 150, 200 feet above the ground, but they can kind of change their elevation as necessary and just rain fell energy down on the ground, destroying pretty much everything in their path. So, you are cruising along through the skies of Avernus. So, there's no sun, there's no moon, there's just this dull, red, ominous sky belching sulfur. And you can see below you the river Styx and infernal beings, demons moving about on the ground, when in the distance you spot an object that bears a striking resemblance to what Mad Maggie described to you, the flying coffin nail of sorts. How would you like to approach this? Would you like, by that I mean like low and slow and then pop up on it, or kind of go up and then descend, or just fly straight at it?
What do the skies look like? Are there clouds? Is there any sort of cloud cover, something we could come out of?
There is cloud cover. You're not 100% sure what the cloud is made out of, but it would provide cover.
Like a beautiful pollution cloud?
Yes, it would be. Yes, it looks like you'd be flying through like smog and like burnt meat, like kind of nasty.
Okay, I pull down my cloak around my mouth.
Okay.
And I spur my nightmare to fly up and come up from the idea would be to come up through the clouds.
Yes.
And then drop down into the top.
All right. So the rest of you see Arson kind of gird himself and then start cruising into a cloud bank. So it's pretty easy to intuit that he's moving for the kind of the more obscured approach. What do the rest of you wish to do?
I pull up my surgery mask, made of leather, seen a bit. No, look, you're fine for now. Pull it up over my face, and I follow him into the clouds and above.
Not so fast, not so fast. Oh.
Look, did you not take those pills I gave you? They were supposed to
You
help.
must be kidding. Where did you get your medical license again?
Changing the subject, I look to the cloud, and I follow the nightmare that's already entered into it.
Fantastic. Desmond.
Fly my goat into the stink with my nose pinched, thusly, and passenger Orion Rick.
Alessandra, my dear. You can call me Ali if you want, honestly.
Yes, wonderful. Hold on, we're going in the shit.
God damn it, Richard. Oh, we're in church. I'm sorry. Are you going to take any special precautions before you go cruising into the maelstrom?
You know what? I think I will actually, Bill, the way you're describing that as a fellow DM to another. Yeah. I know when there's a leading question. I think I will cast I will just create prestidigitation to fill my hands and mouth with the smell of sweet spring flowers and cloves, and just kind of cup them over my mouth as I go. Fate pact, man. Fate pact.
I was about to say, that is about the most Fae thing that, besides pooping flower petals, that's about the most Fae thing you could have said.
I want to smell some wildflowers, Bill. Let me smell some wildflowers.
You know what you smell? Wildflowers.
Yeah, great.
and the crew on the end.
Can I cast Fairy Fire just to see if there's anything hidden in the cloud bank?
So because it's so large, you could, but you would hit like one tiny piece of the cloud. Might not be super effective.
I'll pass.
All right. And tell me your character's name again, by the way. Yes.
Surgeon Manafort. Manafort is fine, but she prefers surgeon.
I'm going to call you Surgeon.
Surgeon, thank you.
There's no medical license.
Look, I thought we got past that.
All right, so you're wearing a surgeon's mask to try and give yourself a little bit of clean air to breathe.
Yeah, it's made of leather. It's seen a few dicey surgeries, so it's not in the best condition, but I'm hoping that it protects me from some of the cloud.
All right, and as I fly up in this nightmare through this cloud, I grab off my back the staff of the Hungry Star. Now, the staff of the Hungry Star is an ebony black wooden staff with on one end there's the head of a carved vulture, and its mouth is wide, and inside of this shrieking vulture mouth is a sphere of annihilation, which I acquired in an adventure a long time ago, but I used the staff to cast a third level false life on myself to bolster myself with extra hit points.
Fantastic.
Before we face whatever we're going to face.
Well, I'm suddenly feeling very exposed.
So you guys plunge into this roiling cloud. How many people have seen Mad Max Fury Road? A fine film.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? No. You're lying. At any rate, remember the scene when they drive into the massive maelstrom of sand and debris and everything. Think like that, only hell. And as you plunge into it, it's very easy to become disoriented. So what I would like is for everyone to make a survival check. If you took precautions to try and protect yourself as you entered, please make your survival check with advantage.
Oh, very good, Richard. That's okay.
We yell out what we got?
18.
Another 2.
17.
Yes.
14.
Also 14.
All right. Desmond truly is sitting backwards on his goat. So the rest of you manage to keep like the right kind of azimuth and trajectory and velocity as you go barreling out of the clouds.
I'm going to swoop in just underneath Goat Man. Just in case something happens, if he's flying here, I'm just flying right under and keeping an eye on him.
Desmond, the other way, Desmond.
So between your gentle ministrations and you're kind of acting as a wingman, Desmond doesn't like fly straight out of the cloud like, into the ground. You manage to keep on towards this flying citadel. Whereupon you notice, kind of streaming forth from it, heading towards you, it looks like 6 hell wasps. So hell wasps are who here likes wasps?
You're lying.
Did you just raise your hand?
No, he went like this.
Okay. No, that's right. You push them away. Wasps are terrible. Now imagine a wasp the size of a horse with infernal traits. So it's kind of fiery and it has a huge wicked stinger and they're super nasty.
Lovely.
And kind of riding, crouched, holding on to the top of these wasps are humanoid creatures in kind of spiky armor with full face masks with horns coming out of the top. And they're holding javelins above their heads and they're shrieking a battle cry as they come flying at you. You have a surprise round. Please roll initiative.
Okay.
Imagine the picnic they're about to ruin.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
Wow.
natural 20.
I rolled a 19, so it's a 22.
Hooray, 22 for our son. Desmond.
13. Not
Hooray,
2.
not a 2.
Broke 10.
Alessandra.
11.
Not as good as a 13, but better than a stick in the eye.
2 less than a 13.
The surgeon. Surgeon?
Surgeon, initiative.
20.
20.
20.
Is that a dirty
Natural
20?
20.
A
Or a
dirty.
natural 20?
Natural 20.
Oh, my.
Natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Don't worry,
last
it's
but not
all,
least,
all
Talia.
downhill from here.
Also a natural 20.
What? You guys are getting all your crits out of the way now.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray.
That's the
Neither one
magic
of
of
them are
Fabio
lying.
right there
Oh,
for you.
yeah.
That's what that is.
One of them were lying.
Neither of them are lying.
What are your initiative modifiers?
1.
1,
4.
4. You will go first. All right. So now we will roll for the bad guys.
Would you say that the formation is a cluster or more of a line?
It's more of a like a flying wedge.
A flying wedge.
Yes.
Got it.
Are they within a 20-foot radius sphere?
So they are about a good 70 feet away from all of you. As I said, you have a surprise round. So they were expecting you to zig. You zagged. Arson, you are first in initiative. What would you like to do?
Oh, okay. Wedge.
Wedge.
I'm going to throw a fireball into the middle of it.
I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, of course.
And if I remember right, you have the ability to create fire that bypasses the resistance of creatures that are fire resistant.
Yeah, when in hell, bring something that ignores resistance to fire. Yes.
I feel you there, sir. So you're casting a fireball.
I'm going to need some dexterity saving throws from you.
Do you know what I'm going to make? Some dexterity saving throws.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I have a high DC.
I figured you would. All right, so I'm going to be rolling but what is the DC, sir?
The DC with my Staff of the Hungry Star is 19.
19. All right, so we have...
Spicy.
That's
It's a
spicy.
spicy meatball. Yeah.
All right. So of the wasps, 2 of the wasps made their save. Please remember that.
2 wasps?
2
Okay.
wasps made their save. And
I should start rolling.
start rolling me some damage, brother.
Damages.
The hobgoblins did not fare quite so well.
Okay, so that's 20. Okay. 30. No, okay, hold on. 32 plus my elemental affinity, plus
Okay.
that's plus 5 for my charisma modifier. 37 is going to be full damage.
Okay.
Half is going to be 18.
All right. So, the rest of you witness this blooming explosion of fire. What does that look like? Tell me, is there anything, tell me about this fireball.
The fireball is a big ball of blue flame to differentiate itself from this infernal red flame. So my eyes light up with blue flame. They kind of roll back, and I take the staff and point the staff of the Hunger Star, and it bursts into blue flame, and this huge, massive, giant fireball just rolls through this conical formation.
Fantastic. And as the blue fire washes over these hell wasps and the humanoids riding them, you watch the humanoids just kind of burn away into ash, just all gone, and the wasps kind of dip and fly around. And I don't know how one would interpret that a wasp is surprised, but they seem kind of surprised, because usually they're pretty chill with fire. They appear to now be reorienting in your direction.
Right.
So, you have done what I will call a number upon upon the wasps collectively. Excellent.
Having of a woo!
I thought you were going to start a slow clap, and then you just kind of died off.
The golf clap.
Dahlia.
Hi. So what's close to us right now?
So, about 70 feet away is 6 hell wasps.
Okay.
With some of them have like the burnt remains of humanoid creatures kind of strapped to the top of them. Most of it, though, has just been clean, blown away. And they are kind of trailing smoke from the fiery impact that they just suffered.
Okay. Can I try casting sleep on the closest one to our nightmare right now?
I believe you can try casting sleep on the closest one. Why don't you please roll me the dice to see how many hit points of creature get put to sleep?
Oh, okay. Actually, points from till. Okay.
Sleep was like the best spell when I was a kid.
Oh my God! Yes.
In the red box, the basic edition,
Yeah.
sleep was like that. That was the best spell.
Yeah, by far, AD&D as well. Sleep was
Yeah, I do.
a moneymaker.
D8.
Actually, yeah, totally.
D8, yeah.
If you could charm an
Need some dice.
Oh, charming ogres? Yeah.
If I could charm an ogre.
14, 15, 16, 19.
19 hit points worth of sleep. So there's a kind of, what would your sleep spell look like as it manifests itself in reality? What would we see?
It's kind of like, so I'm sort of holding on to the back. I'm still feeling a little bit sick. So
Okay.
I think I'm just going to, there's quite a rough motion, and I kind of go, and instead of vomit, actually, a trail of sort of very lilac-colored dust sort of leaves its way over to the wasp, which kind of looks, like you say, wasps don't really emote, but it looks kind of grossed out.
Yeah.
And it just passes out and
Okay.
sort of drops like a stone.
Unfortunately, as you kind of lean forward and vomit lilac, something you could only say in a game of D&D, as you vomit lilac sparkles at the flying hell wasp, it washes over it and kind of it kind of wavers a bit, but it continues flying. I see where your heart was. I like it. We're going to get there.
Okay.
The surgeon.
Have you ever considered becoming an anaesthetist? No?
Are you trying to recruit me right now?
Well, some talent there, a little bit. After exchanging that with my compadre, I
couldn't
decided to
afford
try
me.
and cast Ray of Frost at the one closest to me.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Roll that attack.
25.
A 25 is successful. Your ray of frost strikes the closest wasp. Please roll me some damage.
9.
You notice that the wasp reacts extremely poorly. In Pokemon parlance, it's super effective as your bolt of blue energy slams into it. Part of it crystallizes in ice. One of its wings gets stuck, and it starts like down in a corkscrew to the ground until you see it go.
I get out my research notebook and write a quick couple of notes and then shove it back in my back pocket.
Fantastic. The rest of you note, man, these things really don't like A, his fire for some reason, and B, they really don't like cold. Okay. Desmond, you have righted yourself, so you are facing your opponents. There are 5 hell wasps in front of you. I shudder to think what the hell you are about to do.
Yes.
Are you as stuck as I am,
I'm
Desmond?
sorry.
So,
Can I aim the goat?
yes. So if you are on a nightmare, nightmare has a flying speed of 90 feet.
Night goat. Yes.
So you can they are well within the range of your goat to reach. Hell goat.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's he going to do, Desmond?
Can my goat
Ringo.
bite?
Normally, yes. Your goat enjoys headbutting instead of biting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
Please roll me a die 20 as your goat goes barreling into the nearest wasp.
Usually I get 2 attacks. I'm proficient with
Dungeon
goats.
Master, I get 2 attacks.
You know what? Make me 2 attacks, Desmond. A double butt.
1!
Wow.
It's a good
Throw
thing
those
I'm
dice
underneath.
away.
That is correct.
I've rolled a total of what? 18?
Maybe, if we're being charitable.
Oh, 5.
All right.
Why
I'm
did
so
I go
sorry,
with you,
Lucca.
Richard?
Okay. This is what we're going to do. Whenever Richard rolls like crap, okay, which is going to be pretty much every time he has to roll a dice.
Richard has to drink.
Yes! Also, I would like you, the crowd, when he rolls like crap, to, with one voice, say, Richard.
No, I'll make a goat sound.
Oh, do you guys want to make a goat sound instead? No, if I could do Richard. And let's test one. 1, 2, 3. Richard. Yes! I'm here for it. So, the rest of you watch as a goat with a sidecar goes tear-assing past these wasps in what appears to be a state of utter confusion. And nothing happens. Alessandra.
So just remind me, Bill, here. So I'm in the sidecar. We've gone past the wasps, or
Yes.
are we amongst the wasps?
You are kind of just past them. If you would like to, at some point as you're flying by, maybe make a melee attack, we could do that. If you want to do a ranged attack after, whatever you want to, I'm here for it. Whatever you want to do, man.
Whatever I want to do, huh?
Within reason.
Well, as Richard said, I have 2 attacks. Could I, as we're passing through, make 2 attacks? And I'm going to kind of hold my hands out, and a long, slender, great spear, pike, forms out of kind of silvery moonlight as I grip it in my hands.
Yes.
And then kind of Ben-Hur style gladiator, I'm going to swing at 2 of the hell wasps as we go past.
Fuck yeah, let's do that.
Hell yeah!
One of those warlocks.
Yeah. So that is a 15 to hit on the first one.
Dun, 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 dun. Your blade strikes its hide, its chitinous hide, and sparks kind of fly off, and it does not appear to do any damage.
No hit.
You missed.
Second attack.
Yes.
Nope, worse. 13.
So what happened? It looked really, really cool.
It looked cool. That's the most important bit.
But was ineffective. And with that, the surprise round is over. The wasps have kind of reoriented themselves. Arson, we are back to you.
Back to me?
Yes.
Okay. I've kept a healthy distance. Who's in the middle of this?
That would be Heckle and Jekyll are currently kind of just if you were to cast a fireball,
Yes.
pretty good odds that you would hit them too.
You're reading my mind here. Okay. So there's kind of this cloud still of wasps. How many would you say?
There are 5 wasps. It's starting to turn into like a World War II movie where all that is going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a paladin backwards on a goat.
Yes.
Flying around through the.
Yes.
And then the other paladin
It's like
flying through.
flailing around with a
Okay, so I'm going to spur my nightmare to sort of move off to the kind of pie, like the Death Star beam, when it needs to clear the planet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to clear those 2
Yep.
to get maybe 3 of the wasps in a row.
I would say you could get 3 of those wasps in a row.
Okay, 3 of the wasps in a row. My eyes roll back, this time with purple electricity.
Oh, shit.
And I pull the staff of the Hungry Star down. It crackles with electric energy, and a lightning bolt flies out.
Fantastic. Same DC, right?
Same DC.
Okay, cool.
I'll start rolling.
Please, sir. Because I failed on all the wasps are so intent on the dumbass paladin flying backwards through their midst that they fail to see the bolt of lightning that spears through them.
Okay, I'm using my empowered ability
Okay.
to. I am re-rolling my 1s and 2s, which is a good thing that I did that. Okay. 9, 12, 16, and 16 and okay. So 16 plus 12 is 28 plus 5 is 33.
All right. So
33 for full.
I would like you to describe all 3 of those wasps are slain by your attack. What does that look like?
Okay. So I'm friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was on a plane once that was hit by lightning. And what he said was that there was a hole in the front of the plane in the cockpit afterwards. The pilots brought him up and showed him. And what it did was it sent this lightning bolt down the middle of the aisle of the plane. So this purple beam of lightning fires through the wasps, and it punches a hole about that thick through all 3 of them, and they just start spiraling down to the ground.
I like it. I like that a lot. I also like the thought of Arnold.
Yeah, I was on the plane, Joe, and then the lightning bolt came in. I was like, there's no chopper, I can't get to it.
It was crazy. There was a lightning bolt that went down the middle of the aisle, and the pilots brought me into the cockpit, and they said, look at this, is a hole in the plane, and we landed the plane, okay, all right.
Where's my cigar? Oh, Jesus Christ. There are now two wasps remaining. As Arson has just blasted 3 more of them out of the sky. Now it's the wasp's turn. No. This is probably not going to come as a surprise to you, Arson, but you have proven to be a fairly significant threat at this point, and they're actually surprisingly intelligent. So it is going to wheel about and...
Bill, are they moving away from us?
Yes.
I would like to use my sentinel feat to attack one as an opportunity attack.
Would you like to use your sentinel feat, sir?
I would like to use my sentinel feat, please.
Well, it says here on page 32.
Yes, you may use your sentinel feat.
I took this feat, man. I was waiting for something to get an opportunity attack.
You know what I'm happy to do? Provide that to you.
That is a 23 to hit this time.
Sir, that is a successful hit.
As it is a hit, I'd like to Divine Smite as well, if I can, please.
If you had said no, I would have been surprised. Note that it is a fiend.
I will. I'm just going to use a level 1 Divine Smite on this one.
So that's going to be 3 extra dice because of the fiend die.
Yes.
So we have 8 normal damage, and then the radiant from the Divine Smite is 10.
Is your damage magical?
Yes, it's a magical spear.
Good.
So it is 8 regular damage and then 13 radiant damage, and its speed is 0 because of the Sentinel feat.
2 things happen. Would you say it's more of a slashing attack or a stabbing?
This is like a thrust. It's kind of like a one-handed thrust to catch it as it leaves the threatened area.
All right, so your blade hits it. After it impales it, your strike is absolutely successful. What would you describe happens next?
As I actually stab it in and I feel the weight beginning to tip as the wasp begins to fall,
yes.
I just let it go, but as the spear gets pulled away, it just turns into moonlight and then reforms in the hand as a packed weapon.
Tricky. I like that.
How's he gonna screw me? How's he gonna screw me?
I'm not. I was just but I like that that's where your mind is at. Like, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. He's coming for me. Anyway, the wasp spirals down and again into the ground, kind of splatters. There is now one wasp remaining. And that wasp actually wheels about and charges down at you now because you've, it's close. You just killed his buddy. Like, that's what I do. So a couple things happen. Its legs, now that you've gotten closer, its legs don't look so much like wasp legs as kind of serrated swords, which is really good. Like, if you're a wasp, I was going to say the bee's knees, but get it? Anyway, so its sword talons come flying at you, hitting an armor class of 22.
That will hit.
That will inflict 11 points of piercing damage as it kind of tears through your shoulder, leaving a jagged wound. And then it's going to attempt to hit you with its stinger.
Okay.
Hitting an armor class of 21.
That will hit.
All right.
I was ready to say, no, and then it did.
So, I'm going to separate the damage out. You apply any resistances that you have.
Yep.
8 points of piercing damage.
Yep.
The stinger is also as hot as like an iron that just came out of like a forge. So you will then take 7 points of fire damage.
Yep.
And last but not least, it would be amazing if you made me a Constitution save.
I was waiting for it, Bill.
Yes, well, you were good to wait, sir.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Oh.
God damn. You feel this kind of, it's both burning and freezing at the same time as the stingers kind of hit you in the side. Ow. And your body starts to feel weird and numb. You are poisoned for 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm not done.
I am.
While poisoned in this way, the target is also paralyzed.
Oh, boy.
Dun, dun, dun. While poisoned in this way, the target is paralyzed, and it can also repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. So don't forget that you're paralyzed and poisoned. By the way, you're in a sidecar.
Desmond, help.